Welcome. My name is Katrina. I will be interviewing a Vietnam War veteran.
Hello, my name is Jack Cunningham. I was a Marine and I served in the Combined Action Program in Vietnam for about 2 years.
What was the Combined Action Program?
We lived in a farming village with peasants and helped with civil action tasks such as digging wells, fixing fences, or helping treat patients. The CAP program was nicknamed a Peace Corps with rifles. It was considered a suicide squad. We were told to get out of it any way we could.
Really? Were you scared to be in one of these units?
Not at first, although I was wondering what I had gotten myself into.
I see. What was your village called?
My CAP unit stayed in the village of Phu Doc, also known as Duck Duck or Settlement Village.
How many men were in your unit?
There were 8 Marines, 1 Navy corpsman, and 20 Vietnamese militiamen known as PFs or Popular Forces in our village.
Why were there so few men?
Well, it used to be a volunteer unit, but too many CAP units were getting wiped out. They started to assign Marines to these units, but they still didn't assign many.
Why were they assigning men to these units?
The village used to be under tight Viet Cong control. It was our job to take care of the village and keep the Viet Cong out.
What was your first experience with the enemy?
One of my first experiences was when I was guarding a tower. A communist sniper started to fire at me from a village across the river. I couldn't fire back for fear of hitting a peasant. We were trying to build the peasants' trust. I was helpless.
How did you gain the villagers' trust?
We had civil action programs. We were friendly and we protected them from the Viet Cong to the best of our ability.
Did the villagers end up trusting you?
Most of them did, and then they would help us. They would tell us of the communists coming to wipe us out. They sometimes would bang pots when the communists did come.
So how did the Viet Cong react to the villagers trusting you?
They tried to turn the peasants against us. They paid children to set booby traps. Once a 12-year-old boy threw a grenade at our CAP unit. They used some peasants to create false reports to make us think they were coming to attack us. They played mind games on us. The Viet Cong also killed some villagers to instill fear into them. They once killed 3 of our peasant friends while their children watched. They did everything they could to get the peasants to turn on us.
Wow, that's terrible. Did this cause you to experience any of the paranoia that was common in Vietnam?
Absolutely. We didn't know who we could trust. Anyone could be working for the communists. We heard that some communists were living in the village and even serving on our militia. We didn't know who they were. We could only guess. Even a guess couldn't be acted on because if we were wrong, we would lose the Vietnamese peasants' support.
How did the Viet Cong fight you?
It was exhausting to fight the Viet Cong. On several occasions, we had to fight them blindly. One time we were raiding their site. Suddenly, they started firing from every way, but we couldn't see any. We fired blindly and hoped we were hitting them. There were only 6 men total. Somehow we made it out with 0 casualties that day.
No casualties? That's incredible. Were you ever wounded in Vietnam?
Yes. During one fight, I received 2 shrapnel wounds. Shrapnel is a very sharp and are caused by bombs or grenades. The shrapnel is still in me, actually. Another time, I was preparing my weapon for a fight. I remember a huge flash, and I slammed into a concrete wall. I was bleeding from my head, my chest, arms, stomach, and legs. My ears were ringing, and my body was shaking. I thought I was dying. I was bandaged up, and I went back out into the village that next day. We were down to 4 Americans.
That's pretty intense. Did you see any of the Viet Cong tunnels in Vietnam?
Yes. During one of the many times we were fired upon, we found a tunnel. We captured 3 Viet Congs from it.
Did you believe in the war you were fighting in?
Yeah, at first. We thought we were fighting for the good of our country and democracy.
So what did you think of the Americans against the war?
I learned to hate them. Inside the tunnel we found with the Viet Cong in there, we found a lot of American money and boxes of clothing. They received these things from a student union in the University of California, Berkeley. We were hurt and frustrated. We were fighting for our lives, and our country was helping our enemies. We feared dying for nothing. I hated the people back home more than the communists that were trying to kill us. I also heard of the people defacing Vietnam War memorials back home. When I heard about the Kent State incident, I just got more tired of this war. I was tired of people not wanting us fighting and Americans hating us.
That's so terrible. I'm sorry your country wasn't behind you. When did you leave Vietnam?
We left under Nixon's military pullout. I returned home in February 1971.
Would you ever want to return to Vietnam under any other conditions?
My buddy and I returned to Vietnam in 2001. It is a beautiful country and we like the people we met there.
Did you receive any war ribbons?
Yes. I received a Purple Heart Medal, a Combat Action Ribbon, a National Defense Service Medal, and a Vietnam Service Medal.
What an accomplishment. Thanks for sharing your incredible story.
Thank you for listening.